everybody, Tim and Jordan here for another review for Harley Quinn. We are doing Season 1, Episodes 3 and 4, doing them in sets of 2. Episode 3, So You Need a Crew, starting off with Dr. Psycho, who I actually knew very little about him. I read a lot of comics, he doesn't. I don't remember him, ever reading about him in the comics or anything. This is kind of my first introduction. But I do love him because, his first introduction is him calling Wonder Woman a cunt. And, boom, being banned from the Legion of Doom.
Yes.
So, for you, it's kind of based both of our, first introductions with Dr. Psycho. So, what did you think of this one?
Well, because that's another thing, too, is that even though I don't read that many comic books, you have given me many comic books over the years to read. And, yeah, Dr. Psycho was one of those. I was like, okay, maybe since I got, a little short-term memory loss kind of thing going on, I was like, maybe I did read about him, and maybe I just, forgot about it because he was such a small character.
Oh, get it? Small character.
And that's going to be my next thing, is that, so in this thing, so it starts off with him, calling Wonder Woman a cunt. The whole world goes silent. And he's like, it's not that bad. And then, yeah, he finds out even the Legion of Doom is like, yeah, you can't do that. Sorry, you're out. And is what I find really funny is that, because he says it technically derogatory towards a woman. And I think it's funny because he's a little man. And
he's dating, Gigantica.
Oh.
Which they have that in this one with the, who is it? It's the Tawny Show or something. I don't remember. It's supposed to be a spin. It's supposed to be making fun of somebody, but he's making fun of Tawny, and he's with Gigantica. We'll see later on. Not to spoil it, but I can't remember who Tawny's supposed to be making fun of. But anyways, but go on. So Dr. Psycho saying the word cunt, bad word. Calling Wonder Woman, gets kicked out of the Legion of Doom.
Yep. That's all that's all I really have, unfortunately.
All right. So for Dr. Psycho. So from there we move to, we go to Maxie Zeus. I think it was Maxie Zeus. Who I know, we saw him in the animated series, back in the 90s. He's been a popular character. He is kind of, so back in the 60s, they did a King Tut villain. And Maxie Zeus is kind of the newer version of that. But he's basically just this rich guy. He's basically Bruce Wayne, who thinks he is an Olympian god, and so he takes on the identity of Maxie Zeus. And
it's a workout.
One of my favorite lines is when he talks to Harley, and he's like, "Oh, you and your Juggalo makeup." And the only reason that stood out to me was because when we first met, I was already obsessed with the Joker. And you had made a comment of Juggalos, and I didn't know who they were. I didn't know who ICP was or anything. And you were like, "Oh, Juggalos?" And I was like, I don't know what that means. And you're like, "Okay, we can keep going on our date then."
Yeah, that's good. That's nice. Thank you.
Because I was like, okay. And then later on, I figured out what that was. So we get Dr. Psycho, we get Maxie Zeus. One of my favorite actresses ever, Wanda Sykes, makes an appearance. I'll keep this tight. As the Queen of Fables. Absolutely, I love Wanda Sykes. I think she's such a great actress and everything. I don't know. Do you got anything for Maxie or the Queen of Fables?
Not really Maxie. He wasn't really a I would say memorable character. I don't know, it's one of those, he just has that god, he just feels like everyone should treat him like a god. And then
typical rich person.
All right. And then I just like it because when they're actually when I think, is this when they break into his place or something? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so that's why Clayface is there, and I like how he first comes in as a male person or whatever.
The Shakespearean actor of Clayface.
Yes,
he's so over the top in this series.
Yeah, and so I like it when they go to, Harley's actually trying to distract Zeus or whatever, and she's like, well, no, actually, Clayface, you're going to distract him. And I like how Zeus kind of knows something's up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, wow, you have green eyes like your mother. I noticed it. Wow, you have, the
hunchback.
Yeah, and wow, you're hunchback, and your large elephant ears, and your shingles on your skin, And so I thought that was funny that he was testing him the whole entire time. And...
Yep. And that's and this, like you said, this is the first appearance of Clayface, who is a huge part for the rest of the series. So we watched the first 2 episodes and they were great. Absolutely loved them. Episodes 3 and 4, which we're doing now, is introducing those new characters that stay with us throughout the rest of the series. Probably one of my favorite lines is probably the end of this episode, where Poison Ivy and Harley are talking, and Harley's like, I got all this money, and I blackmailed the city. And Poison Ivy's like, well, what did you do? And then the news breaks in, and they're like, Harley Quinn Parkway. And Poison Ivy's like, holy shit, you actually did it. And it's like, it's fantastic. Like, honestly, like, if I just suddenly got $1 million, and I was like, what could I do? Like, would I make, like, Tim the Parkway? Probably. I think I would,
Tim
actually.
Parkway?
I would.
Wow.
There's a long history there, but I won't get into it. Episode 4, Finding Mr. Right, is pretty short and sweet.
Aww.
It's all about Harley looking for her, like, arch nemesis. This is the first episode of King Shark. I absolutely love King Shark.
Yeah, he was really good. He was kind of like a nerdy, like, if you just envision him, I feel like he like just sits in his basement all day, just like randomly doing stuff or whatever on the computer, because that's actually his character. He just fixes gadgets. So I feel like he has like no life or something, but at the same time he's still like, he's funny, and he's just like, okay, he's like, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, and that's kind of his whole personality, which I love. I love that they brought him in to begin with, and then Harley looking for like the arch nemesis, and it's Damian Wayne.
Yes.
Which at first, like, it's always difficult whenever you watch a Batman movie, animated series, whatever the fuck it is you're watching, and Robin shows up. For me, I'm like, is that Dick Grayson? Is that Jason Todd? Is that Tim Drake? Is that Carrie Kelly? Is that Damian Wayne? Like, who the fuck is that?
Is that someone new? We don't know.
Like, yeah, is it somebody you just fucking came up with? Who is that? But they make it pretty obvious pretty quickly that it's Damian Wayne. And I loved it. Like, I think I had you read Batman Son. I don't know. If I didn't have you read it, I know you watched the movie. So you know who Damian Wayne is.
Yeah.
That is Bruce Wayne's son. And so we see Superman in this, we see Damian in this, and I especially love, like, when Lois Lane is captured, and Harley's like, we're going for a big bad! And Superman shows up, and he's like, do I have to do this? And then Damian shows up, and he's like, okay, I'm out, bye. Like, let the kid take over. But,
yeah,
I don't know, for you...
Hey, Lois, I'll see you at dinner, bye.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So for you, like, how was Damian?
I thought, like, I don't know, like, to me, the character, they just made him sound like, they made everyone around him seem like he was like a little 8-year-old kid, which I don't know if that's how old he was supposed to be. I think
that's one of those things where it depends on the I think he's supposed to be around like 10 to 12.
I was like, I feel like he should be like 13 or 14 or something like that. Like, I don't know, like, still super young to be fighting crime, but I mean, this is Gotham. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, like, I didn't really like how they portrayed his character. Like, I made it feel like they were just like, now, Damian, you know that's not your nemesis. Come on. Like, you know how parents have that, like, voice that they talk to kids in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how I felt like they were doing to Damian. And so, like, I don't really like that. I thought it was kind of funny that he goes on a talk show, and
see, that's the one I can't remember. He goes on the Tawny talk show, and I can't remember who it's supposed to be.
I feel like it's supposed to be like a thing of like Wendy Williams.
That's it. There you go. Thank you. I've been like this whole time. I'm like, I just say it. I know you know who it is because you watch daytime.
Yes.
Wow, my accent came out.
You
watch daytime talk shows more than I do.
Yes.
It's Wendy Williams?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. See, like, I knew it was there in the back of his head, but he just wouldn't say it.
But yeah, so I thought it was kind of funny that Damian goes on a show kind of like based off of hers, and then they're basically asking him like, oh, like, this is your nemesis, and he's like, yep, that's my person, that's who I'm fighting, and then he's just more like, oh, I forgot what happened, but she's like, you're just as sweet as pie.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's so cute.
Yeah, go for that.
But Harley tricks him. So I want to plug it real quick. So King Shark is voiced by Ron Funches. fantastic actor. Like, he was in, oh god, I just lost the name of the show. Future Man. Future Man, where he was great. He was even in that one episode of Match Game, the new Match Game with Alec Baldwin. He's a fantastic actor. And the funny thing is anytime King Shark talks, like, I just see the voice actor. Because he just, like, that's his voice. Where he's like, well, I think this is how it's going to be. And, like, I just love, like, because typically in the movies and the comics, King Shark is this killer, mutant, I'm going to destroy you shark. But the fact that they got this particular actor to voice him, like you said, he's so nerdy and he's so funny, where you're just like, and even in this episode where he's like, I don't really want to hurt anybody. I just want to, like, crack into the code.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, like, they bring out a fantastic 66 Adam West reference with the anti-shark bat repellent spray.
Yeah.
It's great. But I don't know, I loved it. We're just seeing between the last episode with So You Need a Crew and this episode, Finding Mr. Right, where we get Dr. Psycho, and then in this episode we get King Shark. I don't know. I feel like Harley's crew is just fantastic. I feel
like she kind of has like the misfits, like all the rejects, like no one else wanted them. So like which could create a good crew. I mean,
it's almost reminiscent of her. Because that's the thing, like, what was it, episode 2, where she was like, I want this and this and this, and the people were like, okay, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so do you get the Joker to sign off? And she's like, oh no, I'm not with the Joker, it's just me. And they're like, oh, these people are unavailable.
Yeah. Well, when? For how long? Never.
Yeah, and so you, between Harley and, I mean, Poison Ivy's kind of her own because she's separate.
Yeah, like she's like, I'm your friend, but I don't need you.
Harley can, or Poison Ivy can clearly stand on her own. But with Harley and Dr. Psycho and now King Shark, it's all, like you said, it's all of these rejects coming together, and it's a really great crew though. Like, I feel like that's what's making this TV show, is because I've read all of these people in the comic books. And they're always like, oh, you're so cute, as a side, like, hey, here's 2 pages, and then we're done with you.
Right.
And now they're a team. So that's why I'm curious for you. Like, I mean, you know who Harley is, obviously. For King Shark and Dr. Psycho, these 2 episodes, what you got?
What I got? I don't know what I got. I watched them. I liked them. I still, like, even though we're still introducing more characters, I would still say Harley, or not Harley, well, Harley's good too, but I'd still say Poison Ivy is my favorite character.
And she is great.
Yeah.
Her and Kite Man are fantastic.
Oh my god, I fucking love Kite Man. He's so stupid. Yeah, just, anyways.
So, to be 4 episodes in at this point, like, do you feel like it's going at a good pace? Like, are you still interested? Is it too slow? Is it too fast?
I feel like it's going okay for the most part. Like, I mean, all stories, they have their main plot line, but then they got, like, the little separate side stories going on around them. Where I feel like they're definitely good at keeping the main plot point, and, like, so far they're actually, even the side plot points, like, wrapping everything up, they're actually pretty good. They're not really, like, leaving a lot of questions, like, oh, what are they going to do with this character? What are they going to do with that character? It's kind of pretty straightforward. Like, go, okay, this character is going to be in the next episode, or, like, you know why they're not going to be in the next episode, and so, I don't know, like, so far, the only thing, unfortunately, I don't like is that it is one of those episodes where you have to watch every single episode to kind of understand what's going on. You can't just, like, not, like, every episode is its own little thing.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, all of these seasons are kind of short. Like, we're almost, like, halfway through the season at this point.
Well, yeah, it's perfect for, like, each episode's, like...
That's why it's good for you?
Yeah, it's, like, 20 minutes long,
yeah.
So...
Okay. Any other closing thoughts for episodes 3 and 4?
No, not at the moment.
No? Okay. Any characters that you're looking forward to seeing that you haven't so far? Or that you have, but you want to see fleshed out more?
Nothing really... Like, these are questions you'd ask me before we come and do the video, so I have time to think about them.
I love putting him on the spot. It's my favorite part of these videos.
I know, and then you're just gonna get a bunch of I don't know.
As soon as I click done, he's gonna be like, oh, I want to see this person. Too
yeah,
late.
I'd be like, oh, or he'll start to be like, oh, what about this person? I'd be like, oh yeah, I've totally forgot about them. Like, I don't really read Batman or anything, so it's like, okay. So unfortunately, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just done.
I'm just done. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, I'll have to just start reading comic books, I guess, more. And just like,
That's so great.
nobody heard that.
So who's the team at this point? It's Harley, Poison Ivy, kind of.
Yeah.
Frank, kind of.
Oh, the plant.
Yeah, the plant in the corner.
She has Mr. Psycho, or Dr. Psycho, whatever.
Dr. Psycho and King Shark, and kind of Sal, who Sal is originally from the Terry Dodson, or the Dodsons, it's Terry and Rachel Dodson comic. He comes from that.
Oh, and she has Clayface.
Oh, and Clayface. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Clayface.
Yeah, poor Clayface.
Yeah, no, poor Clayface. So it's a good team. I love this team. So, but at this point, like, I feel like episode 4, we're hitting the ground. We're done. From episode 5, we're in the series.
Oh, okay. So now, like, all the character, that was bad.
Character
development, is officially, like, it's not probably like done, but
well, I mean, yeah, we
the
know
main
who
people
everybody
they're
is.
introduced. They got somewhat of a story. You know what they're working for. Okay, now we can carry on.
Okay. Any other closing thoughts for episodes 3 and 4?
You already asked me that, so no.
No? Okay. So, for those who have seen episodes 3 and 4, I mean, they're like a year old at this point, so everybody should have seen it. So, what do you think of Dr. Psycho saying the word cunt? What do you think of Maxie Zeus? What do you think of the Queen of Fables with the amazing Wanda Sykes? King Shark, Damian Wayne, the whole shebang? Go ahead, let us know, and we will see you guys next time for episodes 5 and 6.